All right, loves, we are continuing on our journey in our concertina in our part 2. And in this section, now I'm laying down just a light wash of some Prussian blue and gesso and a little bit of cobalt blue in there as well. Real light with a lot of water, just real light. So I'm allowing the background to really kind of guide me. And I look for these things that I can see in the background. And as I move to this next section, you can see I'm kind of putting my paint down, and yet I kind of see these images like two people down at the bottom next to the trees. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I allowed that to kind of inspire me on. And so at first I thought I would kind of do a silhouette and they would be snowmen. They kind of had the round shape of snowmen. And it kind of progressed. This image here will progress into a person. I saw a boy now. Once I kind of get it defined a little bit more, a boy now playing and making a snowman. Now, I did put in a little bit of violet in there just to really set off the snowman color, the white, to really give it some contrast. And you can see I'm going right over that area where I saw a snowman or a person or something like that. And so I'm always looking for the signs within the background to lead me in the next section, because I'm just allowing myself to play and be free, and I did not have a set idea of what each section would be. I just let it speak to me. And so I'm making my snowman here over that first kind of round image that I saw. And then this one, I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to like bring it together because it looks kind of funky right now. But I will get there. And I kind of play with it a little bit to see like, okay, what do I need to do? And you can see right there, I put a kind of white line. As soon as I do that, it looks like a kid with a puffy jacket building the snowman. And so I left it and I went with it. So I had the snowman and I thought, this would be like a great fun kind of yard scene. And then I started thinking about the things that I'm grateful for and what I'm reflecting on. And that really is the whole idea of our concertinas. It allows us time to really kind of reflect on the season we're in and the things that we're doing and the season of nature. And so I allowed all of those things to play a part in each section. So I just did a rough house, and this is a mixture of unbleached titanium and raw umber. And I just needed to kind of separate the house from the background. And when I started putting everything together, and I'm using the vine lines to kind of bring my tree in, it felt a little scary. And I'm like, I don't want this to feel like Halloween. So I really needed to work hard to separate the fact that this is not a scary house, but a happy house. And I think I achieved my objective with the lights and the colors and different things like that. So I'm just sketching out my tree with my charcoal pencil. I sketched out my house with my charcoal pencil. And just kind of allowing the lines to lead me. And I'll sketch in all of my elements of my house. This is permanent violet dark, I believe, from Golden. Love this color. It's a beautiful kind of winter color, I think. adding a little bit of gesso in the windows, just kind of tapping that up so that I can still see some of the pattern underneath. Using the Nordic pattern stencil for a gate, which I thought it was awesome. I love, love, love it. I'm searching right now for ways to make my house look friendly. I'm using broad tip Posca markers to put in my lights and make dots and different things like that. Now I'm just trying to define my little fella. I put just a slight little bit of features in his face in there. And then we'll define my snowman with some charcoal pencil. Little bit of Posca pen for the carrot nose. And kind of establishing that pattern down at the bottom as the fence. I'm using an olive green-ish soft pastel to give my tree a little bit of color. And I chose green instead of brown to make it feel less scary. And I did come back and add more lights to the tree once I was off camera. I kind of looked at it. It needed a little something and I wasn't exactly sure what it was. So I added the lights and it was perfect. It made it feel fun. Adding just some white highlights in the window and on the trees to represent possibly some snow, using white soft pastel stick and white soft pastel pencil. Little snow for the roof. And I wanted to kind of bring some of that over into the next section. And so I knew another cute little snowman would work. Now I'm just kind of following some of the lines again, and I wanted to bring some images up so that everything wasn't always at the bottom. And so I started to think about the other things that I was grateful for, and faith is a big part for me, and gathering together and all those kinds of things. So I kind of thought about, that and how that could look and what I could do to represent that. So I'm just using a little bit of olive green to do a wash here. And a little bit of raw umber for the ground. I was trying to get some different levels to make it a little bit more interesting. Using my pine cone stencil to kind of create that Christmas window display look. Nothing ever has to make sense for our concertinas. We can just do what feels right next and let it overflow into the next pages and the next pages. That's what I love creating in it. It just feels like this one extension of creativity. Using my poinsettia and branches, no, this is the berries and branches stencil. I used olive green to stencil that out, and I'm using alizarin crimson hue for the berries. And why not a few hanging ornaments? I love the tops and the bottoms, the story, the festive part. I just love that we can create like this without really having it being something real, and yet still telling a story of our season. This is the poinsettia stencil, again, alizarin crimson hue. And I stenciled out the ornaments in teal and alizarin crimson hue and the permanent violet, dark, and gold. I used a little bit of gold paint. So I'm thinking about what might be behind the house, like in the country. Where's this road traveling? Where will we go to in this little town, in my story? And so I thought the deers would be kind of awesome here, just to kind of give us another version of this story and the journey that we're traveling. I just went with my gut, though. I didn't care if it made any sense at all, and I just wanted to tell my story of the season. And I hope that you can do that too. So that's the 5x8 Deer Duo stencil. I did use raw umber with a tiny bit of black in there to just kind of darken it up just a bit. And then I'm trying to kind of segue into the next section as well, and kind of bring the deer section together. This is a combination of teal and olive green, trying to make my trees different colors to make them interesting and stand out. And we are almost at the end of part 2 of our concertina. We will continue creating and the finishing touches of this section and move on to the next section in part 3. Just adding my trees here, my mini forest. And that is it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed part 2, and I will see you in the next one.